Nearly a year and a half since COVID-19 was detected in the Chinese city of Wuhan, the question of how the virus first emerged remains a mystery. But in recent weeks, the controversial claim that the pandemic might have leaked from a Chinese laboratory, once rejected by many as a fringe conspiracy theory, has been growing friction. So what do we know about the competing theories, and why does the debate matter? Hello everyone, welcome to World of China, a channel to explore the real China. In today's video, we're talking about a burning topic, how CCP covered the COVID outbreak and why. To know the full story, stay tuned with us and hit the subscribe button. While many in the media and politics dismissed these as conspiracy theories at the time, others called for more consideration of the possibility. Nevertheless, the idea resurfaced in recent weeks. Because reports whirling around the US media have raised fresh concerns over the lab leak theory, and some scientists who were once skeptical of the idea have expressed fresh openness to it. A classified US intelligence report saying 3 researchers at the Wuhan laboratory were treated in hospital in November 2019, just before the virus began infecting humans in the city, began broadcasting in US media this week. It's a suspicion that the coronavirus may have escaped, accidentally or otherwise, from a laboratory in the central Chinese city of Wuhan where the virus was first reported. Its supporters point to the presence of a major biological research facility in the city. The Wuhan Institute of Virology, or WIV, has been studying coronaviruses in bats for over a decade. The institute is a 40-minute drive from the Huanan wet market, where the first cluster of infections emerged in Wuhan. The evidence of the Chinese Communist Party's CCP denial, distortion, and concealment of the coronavirus pandemic from its critical beginning to the present day is overwhelming. In January 2020, if not before, the CCP knew it was dealing with a fast-spreading disease in Wuhan, but rejected transparency in favor of a massive propaganda campaign to spread disinformation. From manipulated statistics and the prevention of an investigation by international experts to sack journalists and whistleblowers who were silenced through threatening and foul play, there are countless examples of how the CCP lied to the rest of the world about the origins of the pandemic. It is widely known that when the new coronavirus emerged in December 2019, the Chinese government downplayed the pandemic threat for several critical weeks. Less commonly known are those same authorities deliberately sacrificed health workers to maintain their lies. The Chinese Communist Party's, or CCP, calculated cover-up enabled the coronavirus to go global. By silencing doctors, Beijing not only fueled this pandemic, but also compromised the world's ability to spot the next one. Why the CCP decided to cover up the outbreak isn't clear. It may have been a reluctance to cancel political meetings, a fear of public panic, especially around the Chinese New Year, the embarrassment of another pathogen being born in Chinese soil, or the simple instinct to squash bad news implanted into officials in an authoritarian system. In late 2019 and early 2020, rather than deal with the bad news of a novel coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan, China, chose to try to cover it up, allowing what might have been a manageable public health incident to explode into a global pandemic. The Chinese government has yet to own up to the obvious impact inside China, where the official death toll in Wuhan or Hubei is still around 4,500 people, in a city of 11 million where the virus spread unchecked for nearly 3 months. Realistic estimates are that tens of thousands of people died from COVID-19 in Wuhan, based on circumstantial but credible data. In one case, counting more than 40,000 funeral urns given out in Wuhan during the pandemic's early months. Bad news leaks out, it doesn't just go away. China's reported rates of infection and death are not in keeping with those for similar urban areas in other countries. And while the lockdown in Wuhan was draconian, it beggars belief that the pandemic did not kill many more after the lockdowns because of infections from outsiders and reinfections, which would be in accord with global patterns in this sustained pandemic. Beijing continues to block access to key areas of Wuhan where evidence related to COVID-19 might help prevent even more suffering and loss of life globally. China and the World Health Organization, or WHO, maintain the COVID pandemic most likely originated in a Wuhan wet market. According to the Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Resource Center, 199,099,061 is the current coronavirus case count globally, with 4,239,882 fatalities. Compare that to China, the country with the first known cases of COVID on November 17, 2019. To date, The country has seen only 105,242 cases and 4,848 deaths. This means that the country at the center of the controversy is largely unaltered, as it claims, and has seen an economic comeback and good growth. That naturally raises questions on the origins of the virus. The U.S. Republican Committee report says the coronavirus leaked from the Wuhan lab before September 12, the day when the main public database of the Wuhan Institute of Virology went offline. The following months went into a futile cover-up exercise by the Chinese Communist Party and the scientists of the institute. As per the report, the WHO was also involved in covering up the COVID-19 pandemic initially. Dissenting doctors were detained, virus lab samples were destroyed, and China suppressed information on the human-to-human transmission of the virus for as long as it was possible. Beijing virtually kept the world in the dark, but the cover-up failed because the virus had already spread in Wuhan, a major industrial city and commercial hub of the Hubei province connected to other parts of China and the world. While China never let the world know about the actual coronavirus statistics in the country, the next cover-up was even more worrisome. The country completely denied there were any Wuhan accident releasing the coronavirus and blamed the United States for the virus's origin. China did not share scientific samples on the coronavirus for further investigation, delayed sharing information to the WHO's China chapter, and first delayed and then allowed only a restricted WHO team visit to Wuhan. That, as per the Global Health Body Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, was not enough to properly investigate the coronavirus's origin. The WHO team needed more time and further studies that China did not allow. As China was shutting itself down, the virus was spreading, and the first in the original epicenter, Wuhan, remained connected to the world, and soon exported the deadly pathogen to many other countries. The report puts China in the dock. It says between 2012 and 2015, a genetically manipulated virus sequence was likely collected in a Yunnan cave. China, in fact, as per the report, made the People's Liberation Army's bioweapons expert the head of the WIV's BSL-4 lab in early 2019. The BSL-4 lab is equipped with the highest level of biological safety. The report adds that on September 12, 2019, the main public database of WIV suddenly went offline. During September and October, as per the report, an increased rush of patients with COVID-like symptoms was seen at Wuhan hospitals, as confirmed by satellite imagery. In October 2019, the Military World Games were held in Wuhan, and many international athletes who returned home came with or developed COVID-19 symptoms. China has hit back at ideas the virus may have escaped from a laboratory by calling it a distortion, and it has suggested the coronavirus may have entered the country in food shipments from other countries. The Chinese government points to new research published by one of its leading virologists into samples collected from bats in a remote abandoned mine. Professor Shi Zhengli, often referred to as China's Batwoman, a researcher at the Wuhan Institute, published a report last week revealing that her team had identified 8 coronavirus strains found on bats in the mine in China in 2015. The paper says that coronaviruses from pangolins pose more of an immediate threat to human health than the ones her team found in the mine. China's state media have accused the US government and Western media of spreading rumors. An editorial in the Communist Party-owned Global Times newspaper said, quote, "The public opinion in the US has become extremely paranoid when it comes to the origin of the pandemic. Instead, the US government has been pushing another theory that the virus reached Wuhan on frozen meat from China or Southeast Asia. But China now seeks to distance itself from its early connections to the coronavirus and promote the idea that China's COVID-19 success means its political model is more successful than the West's. Chinese outlets have wasted no opportunity throughout the year to highlight the United States and to some extent the UK's poor handling of the virus and how these have worsened divisions. This has happened to such an extent that it has become popular for Chinese netizens to call COVID-19 the American virus or Trump virus. Chinese papers and broadcasters have been kept to point out when US media have turned on each other, how politicians have prioritized spending on election campaigns over healthcare, and how a messy, endless election has led to extreme political polarization. If there's one message China wants to take into 2021, it's that the country is rounding off the year with unity and prosperity, whereas other countries can only anticipate further divisions and instability. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this video, then give this video a big thumbs up and share it. For more exciting videos, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. I'll be back with another exciting video soon. Till then, check out our channel for more exciting videos and stay tuned. Watch Why Nobody Wants to Take the Chinese Vaccine. The link is in the description below.